All right, hello class. What we're going on over here is where Flexbox stuff is essentially. You have the Flexbox begins here below, and this is kind of the old lecture, but the old lecture has a lot of wonderful, great stuff to get into. Um, Ignore these two, but you see that basics of Flexbox for spring 2023. That's important to start there. That's actually an old lecture that lays it out really well. Um, you'll see here, and it has 55 slides. So what I would do is start here, and this code that I do is laid out. Actually, it's Flexbox 3, not Flexbox 1. This code is laid out in kind of like cards, and it just goes over a lot of important things. And this is where you start. Even though it's old, it's really critical. You use cards, and using cards is one of the easiest ways of kind of laying out a website as well as Flexbox. So a lot of great information. You absolutely start here. And we end with Flex 10 code. Okay. It goes over important things like different sizes. REM sizes is a different way of measuring in pixels. It's a more up to date, and that relates to it's just more up to date way of measuring. So a lot of good information is here. Let's go back. And then all the different code, again, Flexbox 3 and Flexbox 10 is the final version of it. There's a hidden little homework that you have to do with Flexbox 10 that everyone has to do. You have to get rid of one of the cards and make the other card be, it has to be animated. And I'll go over that in class. Okay. Now the new section, for those who took AMD 104 and just want to jump ahead and do some new responsive Flexbox, here it is. So 2 lectures, and a lot of it repeats this original lecture, but it's just read it anyhow. It reinforces what Flexbox is about. And that's part 1. It has a lot of redundancy, but still go over it because it's important to really understand Flexbox, and it has a few different kind of, but it also explores just a really basic nav bar, and it's really a smart way of kind of getting into responsive Flexbox. So it talks about flex direction, and it just goes a little bit deeper. And it also, again, it has some repeats, but I think it's important to check out. Now, Flexbox part 2 gets into, hold on, and the new Flexbox 2 gets into more of the code. A little bit more about the code for the both the simple navbar and the simple menu, as well as the more complex menu. So it kind of shows you how to break it down and what it's about. All right, and the code is there as well. I will show you where the code is. Code is right here. Simple menu finished, advanced menu finished. Okay. New Flexbox part, I should say Flexbox new part 3. I'll change that. Section 1 is the starter file. About the starter file, this is the main project that you will build for your portfolio. Especially those who did AMD 104 and you want to start out more advanced. So basically, this lecture only contains um, information about starting files and the Holy Grail. And I will have a tutorial up here linked right under here in a moment. But if you want to go all the way, it's designed, and eventually I'll have more tutorials and maybe another lecture. But if you want to just jump into what the final code is, you of course duplicate this, and you can dig into it if you want to jump ahead. It's always okay to jump ahead and then follow some of the tutorials and some of the lectures on the early code, because it becomes pretty complex. Now, what does that code look like? I have it up here. The final code is hold on. Final code is, so it looks like this. Has a sidebar here and has this really wonderful, yeah, I think it's really awesome. I think it's really good looking. Has this wonderful photo gallery, and you can already see that it translates well for a portfolio. Most of it is from Udemy, and Amit Sadiq, incredible teacher, and he's in Udemy. So most of it I pull from him, and I try to actually kind of like dissect it a little bit more and break it down a little bit more. But so most of the work is from him, and that's it. That's how you kind of navigate around the new Flexbox, the old Flexbox section, the whole Flexbox section, and the new Flexbox. Notice there's tutorials right here, and again, you'll have a tutorial. I'll be doing a tutorial soon, right around here, right here actually under here. I'll put a tutorial up.